the In Your City show on the Lou Information Station.
And we're continuing to go. Hold on. There you go. You're good.
Should I talk?
Yeah, talk.
Wow,
Difficulties.
that was a hot mess.
This is live, ladies and gentlemen. Can you tell? It's live.
Oh my gosh, technology. You know what? We should just go back to the old days. It was just simple. You just talked on a microphone.
I know, too much technology.
50,000 cameras and technology is making it a little bit rough. But so here we are, the In Your City show at the Lou Information Station. You can go on demand at louinfo.com, watch the show live anytime you want, streaming 24/7. And of course, for those of you on the radio, you are on the 590, the new KLIS. So thank you for being here. We've got a text line. So if you want to text, you can text to 314-590. That makes sense, right? 3770. You can text, and then, of course, we love your comments at louinfo.com. Let us know what you want to hear, or, I don't know, talk to us.
What do you want to talk about? Yeah.
Yeah, what do you want to talk about? So I was talking a mile a minute when we had technical difficulties.
You were talking about some of our stuff that we did on Studio STL this morning.
Well, yeah, I said we've had really, really busy days, and we were on Fox 2. Well, that's what happened. We had Fox 2 today in the morning, and then you work all day. We've got 3 magazines, so City Lifestyle Magazine, Clayton, Chesterfield, and St. Charles County are our babies, and that's every month is a new issue that goes out. If you haven't seen those before, you'll hear us talk about them quite often. You can go to citylifestyle.com and be able to take a look at any of the magazines. Right now, we're in the June issue, and that's what we were over at Studio STL on Fox 2 was talking about. The June issue and all the great stories inside. But what I was saying is I just came from Avita Health and Wellness. And as a woman, stuff happens as you get older.
Yeah.
I mean, and sometimes even when you're younger. And it does for men too, but a little less. You don't have all the progesterone and estrogen. And, it's a lot. We have the babies, so we're a hot mess as we get older on the inside. But I told her, I said, I'm absolutely, Sarah, she's the doctor there. I go, I'm absolutely exhausted. I'm so tired that I feel like I'm going to cry. I don't have anything to cry about. I just feel like I'm going to cry. And I'm shaky. And she said, well, why don't I just give you a testosterone shot? I've never in my life have I had, as a woman, a man,
if you start talking to me
talking like this and having hair on my chest. She said only one and maybe again in a week. She goes, it'll just kind of boost you and give you some energy. So I'm like, I'm all in. Will give me muscles and make me stronger. So I could be, never mind, I'm not going to go into that.
I think they do take some testosterone.
Oh my gosh, of course. You have to.
Yeah.
And women can. I mean, you should have a little bit. Because that's what happens when you get older, just like in men. You start hitting that 30 and you start going up, the testosterone starts lowering. The thing is, the difference between a man and a woman, you can work out, lessen your coffee intake. You can do things to help get your testosterone higher. It'll never go as high as, what it was when you were in your 30s. And that's the thing. When you go to your primary doctor, they'll only give you what you're supposed to have for your age and not make you, feel like you're 30 when you're 60 or whatever. So, but anyway, that's my first time I ever got that.
And speaking of the testosterone, I know we weren't planning on talking about this, but I saw it yesterday and I was wanting to talk about it yesterday. And so apparently this guy has come up with the death clock. It will tell you when you're going to die. It'll tell you what you're going to die
from. Okay, that sounds like a scary movie.
Yes, and apparently there's a couple of them on here. There's Death Clock, Stanley Jethro, which his name's on there, Jethoria. And then it says entertainment. And then there's another one saying Death Clock. Now, he did
I don't want to know.
I know, but he did the Death Clock, and it's supposed to tell you the day and time that you're going to die and what you're going to die of. But
how does it do that?
It recognized that his family had history of Alzheimer's, right?
Okay.
So because of that, it was telling him that he was going to die sooner. You put in information, like your health information and stuff. Well, he made some changes in his life as far as his diet and everything, and he put those changes in and automatically recalculated for a longer time to live.
But what about the train that hits you or the boat you fall off in the ocean and drown?
What was the name of that movie? What's the name of the movie that they can't escape death? Final Destination.
Yes.
Final Destination. Did you see, I guess it was about 3 or 4 days ago that they were watching Final Destination in a movie theater and the ceiling fell in on somebody.
Did anyone get hurt?
I think someone got killed actually.
Oh my gosh. So they died
watching
during Final Destination. Wow,
the ceiling caves in. And it's like no matter what they did to escape that death, it would find you.
So that can't be calculated. He just must be calculating
I just thought
according
it was
to you.
good entertainment talk.
Yeah.
The death calculator.
Well, our question for the day is, if you've got an amazing life hack at home, share it with us. Let us know what your life hack is or what your hack is. And I know I read one the other day, you tap the egg lightly before you boil it, if you're hard-boiled egg, boiler.
And then
hard-boiled egg. And then when you know how hard it is to peel sometimes, it sticks.
Right.
Apparently it will keep them from sticking and they just peel amazingly well. Then the other one I just saw, you know how you're always trying to put the trash bag in the trash can and it won't go down, and then you go to put that first piece of trash and it, unless it's really heavy, it just like sits there on the top, because the bag won't go down.
Yes.
Well, because you're trying to stick it. Well, if you just you put it long ways and then put the trash bag around the edge, so the trash bag's up, and then just pop it down, rather than trying to get it to go inside.
I never thought about that.
Well, I didn't either, but I saw it one of those hack things.
So I got another hack for you. So if you take, Kelly is notorious for never turning on the exhaust fans when she's taking a shower, so everything fogs up.
I thought you were going to say something else. I was like, wow, that was interesting.
So what you do is you take car wax and
Okay.
you put it on your window or your mirrors in your bathroom, and your windows won't fog up.
Wow. Well, I think you do that on your car too. That works, right? But it won't make it smear on the glass?
No.
WD-40 does everything.
You know what? Yes, let's talk about that.
Oh my gosh.
One of the greatest things for me, when you're painting in the house, I get paint all over me when I paint, right? You spray WD-40 and it's gone in seconds. I mean, you put WD-40 in your hands and it comes right off.
Really?
The paint comes right off.
Or
if you get it on something, you could put WD-40.
Is that why you asked me to bring the WD-40 in the shower to you?
Yeah, because it works. It doesn't smell the greatest, but it works great.
What else do you have?
This is something you can get on Amazon, and it is the hose vacuum, because you must clean out your dryer vents.
Oh my gosh! Why did they make it so thin that there's nothing you can get in there, and all that lint, even though you have the screen in there, it still gets all over it.
And if Mike's listening to me, that's coming on here in a minute, he used to fix appliances, so he's going to agree with me. Another one is, make sure that you clean your fridge coils. A lot of people don't ever do this. And
have we?
Yes, it will give you years and years and years of life for your refrigerator. If these coils get full of dirt and debris and dust, they clog up, and it causes your refrigerator to overheat, and it will die a lot quicker than it normally would.
I have never,
ever. And then this one I saw.
I want to go back to the refrigerator. When's the last time you cleaned it? Because I'm pretty sure we've lived
on my defense,
ours is new.
Ours is new.
6 years old?
No, the one in the kitchen is not 6 years old.
We bought it because we got the one with the new ice cubes.
The new ice cubes.
Yeah, speaking of that. So do you have another hack before?
One more. It's not really a hack. It's just something cool that would be great to have in the kitchen. And I think it goes around your sink. It's where you can put your the thing is, when you get
that's
glass,
too ugly.
Yeah,
that's not going to work.
You can put it there. There you go. That just got shut down.
That's not going to work.
That was the wife shoot down right there.
That's ugly.
Okay.
The display home just went to.
So we were talking about the craft ice cubes that our refrigerator makes.
So we had to spend, I think we talked about that we had to spend, when we were talking to Anne Marie with design, she was talking about appliances, and we said that we spent so much extra, and we didn't. You thought it would be a great idea. I did not. To get the ice maker that would make the big ice cubes, so that when you have a cocktail, make an old fashioned, because we do that all the time.
Yeah.
We're always making cocktails. So
but I use those ice cubes more than any other ice cube in the house.
Just because
I'll fill my big water thing up with those ice cubes, and it stays cold all day.
Look how much space it's taken up of your water you needed. You'd have more room if you use little ice cubes.
ladies and gentlemen, you just saw a blonde moment. She said, look how much space your ice cubes, because
Yeah.
it takes up room for
You
your
said
water.
it doesn't melt.
What does ice cubes make out,
No,
made out of?
you said it doesn't
Made
melt.
out of water.
No, they don't melt. So they stay
Eventually
big.
it will, yeah.
Oh, okay. So as you can see, that very expensive refrigerator, they're melting.
Well, they've been in there a while, and it's hard liquor.
Just a little bit. So tell us a little bit about what we have here. So we're excited because, and I love the story. So in the June issue of our men's issue, you'll actually see the story, which maybe I can even find it and show it because we don't have it. But there's a story about Chris, who is the owner with his mom, Becky, Sugar Creek Winery. And there's a story about the Judgment Tree.
Judgment Tree,
yeah.
Distillery. They have
article.
the brandy and they have the vodka.
I can't.
And
There we go. Oh,
the name
this
Judgment
is
Tree
hard.
got its name. Yeah, I don't think anybody saw it.
There's no way they saw it.
The Judgment Tree name got its name because there was actually a Judgment Tree in Defiance, Missouri that Daniel Boone and them hung people from
That you would
when they were.
if you
When they were
stole
doing what
something,
they
if you stole something back then,
Yeah.
you didn't get to go to court about it or whatever. You just got hung. So
Yeah.
not a good thing, not a good way to go. But yeah, it's a beautiful place out there, and they have their distillery, and their brandy was their first, right?
Right.
And then they brought in the vodka, and the brandy is absolutely like delicious. It's
It is
really
really
good.
good.
So it was funny. So I realized that if you don't want to drink coffee in the morning, just have a shot of brandy. Because when we were on the show this morning, I tasted it and I was like, you do not need coffee if you just take a sip of brandy. I'm not sure that's a really good educational piece right there to just start your day off with drinking. But yeah, it's really good. And then we have some wines that we brought out too. So we have Sugar Creek's Cynthiana. Yeah, so that's a grape, right?
That's the hardest thing to
It
say.
is a hard.
Cynthiana.
Yeah, and then what else do we have? Do you
The
recognize
other one
by
is the
heart?
Birdie.
Okay,
And then that is I forgot what this one is.
this is a white. This looks like,
No, is that a white?
yep, that's a white.
Oh, this is the Vidal Blanc. Yeah.
Okay, so there you go. So luckily, we don't have them all open so that we can.
Sugar Creek Winery too. Did you mention their new place they got out there?
Well, Sugar Creek's still there, the same place in Defiance, but they built a whole new building to the side for events and a fireplace. It's quite beautiful. But they've also, if you went out to Sugar Creek and say you've been there in the last 10 years or something like that, and then you've gone back out, it is. Because I can remember when we first went out, you're kind of sitting on a slant, they kind of had it in the grass area, and you're like, okay, with the tables and that. It's like, I'm drinking wine. I don't know if it's me or the wine.
For that roll out of the chair.
But now they've got it leveled and have bands, and so they're really doing up, so that's been fun too. So we got a great show. You're going to meet Mike Mesey. If you don't know him already, he is Gordon's Soul Strings guest. Every Tuesday, we'll bring on powerful music powerhouse to talk with and get a little, I guess, soulful. And then we're going to meet Audra Harrold. She is the co-founder of the STL Fashion Alliance. She's really connected and all about elevating St. Louis. And then we've got the Ritz-Carlton. We've got Michael Cooper coming in and talking about things that are going on over at the Ritz-Carlton. So look forward to that. And we've got brandy, so it should be a really fun show. Someone dancing on the tabletop maybe during the show. Good thing for virtual, right? All right, well, it is 4:26. We got a little bit of a late start with technicalities, but we're going to go ahead and get Mike Mesey into the room. So we're going to take for a short break right here at the Lou Information Station at louinfo.com. Go in, subscribe to the station. The station is building out every day. Every time I go on it, there's something more about St. Louis. The Lou.
The Lou.
Yeah.
What's happening in the Lou?
And we're not talking about the bathroom. That's a British thing. That has nothing. That's like calling someone John and you mean the bathroom John. That's what someone said. Why'd you call it the Lou? It's a bathroom. We're not in Britain or whatever, right?
We'll have to look up why it got its name to John.
So it is the Lou Information Station. Of course, 590 the KLIS. Our text line is 314-590-3770. Have that, and you can comment on the YouTube page. You can comment on the Facebook. You can just comment. Just talk to us.
Yeah, talk to us. We'll be right back. You're listening to In Your City Show.
All right, boom.
We are having a lot of difficulties.
We seriously
today.
need someone else to start pressing the buttons,
Oh my
okay?
gosh, this is
How
just
many
too much
producers
work.
does it take to do a show? Welcome
much
back
work.
to In Your City Show at the Lou Information Station. We're live on demand at louinfo.com. You can watch it visually, and we're here also on KLIS on 590. Welcome to the show, Mike Mesey. So Gordon has his awesome Soul String segment each Tuesday. Bring a powerhouse musician into the studio, and it's his time to have a little bit of
I'm powerhouse
conversation
now.
with you.
Oh, wow.
You sure are. Absolutely.
let me get this fixed real quick because I gotta zoom in on what you're wearing, brother.
Oh.
So you can tell me a little bit about that. There we go. So tell me a little bit about this necklace you're wearing before we get going, Mr. Mike Mesey.
Okay, real quick.
It's incredible.
Give Angela a plug.
Looks like a weapon.
well, I wanted a dagger. I saw that stone and I wanted a dagger, and then I picked out some stuff, and we kind of design. I gave her a little idea of a design. She is amazing. She does all this artwork. I'm going to hook you up with her link and all her information, and she could come on and show you everything. But she does amazing jewelry with silver and stones from all over the world.
Wow.
So,
make it just custom, so whatever you'd want to.
Yeah, she is my rock and roll necklace designer now, our jewelry designer. Yes, she's great. She's amazing.
I love it. Well, why don't you just keep it on hold so you can talk?
So Mike is a powerhouse drummer. I had the privilege of being able to play with Mike for a short time in American Greed, which was an awesome band. I love that band. You've done so much, brother. You played with Chuck Berry for 36 years. You've been in Head East. You've toured with numerous huge rock stars. Sammy Hagar, Leonard Skinner. Was Leonard Skinner plane crash?
Oh, way after that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was about 93 or something.
93.
Yeah.
Okay. And just some of the others that you've played with, and it's just it's so cool. I mean, what are some of the great stories that you have? Give me a story from those road days, being out on the road, Michael Mesey with all these bands. Give me something that you've never forgotten that just kind of blew you away and you can't believe happened.
So I was just talking to Roger Boyd about this the other day. They're doing the book, and I'm going to be in the new book that they're doing about
and what book is that?
About Head East.
Oh,
it's being finished right now. We were sitting around having dinner, and this popped into my brain. We were playing Sturgis. We were playing Buffalo Chip in 1993 because I just joined the band, and we were out there. And we had to play a show, and we were playing right before the last band. So we had to hurry up and get off and then go back and get in vehicles and take off. Well, we played, and we were going to leave, and right as we went down the backstage stairs, we were standing there, and all these motorcycles started up. And I mean, they revved so loud, I felt the earth shake. Wow. That is something I've never experienced in my life. And I looked at Roger and them, and I just brought this back up, and I was like, do you remember that? He goes, God, he goes, you know what? I do remember that. They revved their motor, so they're up there yelling, get back on. Now, when you're not the headliner, you're not supposed to do an encore. But they called us back up, and we did an encore, and the earth shook at Sturgis from all the motorcycles that revved up.
Now, who was the headliner that day? Do you remember?
I don't remember. I remember the ground shaking. I remember the motorcycles revving up, and I remember playing Buffalo Chip. It was my first experience of playing out at Sturgis.
I've never been there before.
That is one that I will never forget. I have so many.
Oh, I can't
so
imagine.
many that are just so fun to remember and stuff. I do also remember a sad day when Chuck passed. At Chuck's funeral, Gene Simmons was there. And back at his restaurant, he was getting ready to go get on his airplane and everything. Now, I had talked to him a little bit at the funeral, but we got there and we did an interview, and he was sitting there going, the ultimate rock story is to get to play for Chuck Berry. And he goes, I never met Chuck Berry, but he goes, but what an amazing man, intellectually and performing and stuff. But he looked at me and he said, that you are the ultimate experience to get to play with Chuck Berry. And that's Gene Simmons
saying
that to you.
You did something Gene's never been able to do.
You know,
awesome.
And so, like people like Paul Rogers calling you back into the dressing room, asking you what it's like to play for Chuck. And and I said, well, I'm talking to Paul Rogers.
Yeah.
It's kind of,
good answer.
You know what I mean? So just cool stuff.
So since we're talking about Chuck, give me a good Chuck Berry story.
Oh, how about flying back? We were flying back from doing the Voyager project in LA, worldwide broadcast. At this thing, it's called the Voyager project, and we're flying there. And the girl from the Bangles, singer from the Bangles, is sitting next to me, and she goes, I hear Chuck Berry's on the plane. And I go, yeah, he's right up there. And she goes, oh, what do you do? And I go, I'm his drummer. And I go, I hear the Bangles are here. She goes, I'm the singer. So that was my first embarrassing part, you know. And then I have this big London broil when you could order nice meals on a plane. We're in first class, and she's eating a rice pad, and I go, oh no, mistake number 2. I go, I'm getting a big hunk of meat to eat, and you're eating rice patties. She goes, well, it was all on a dare. We all dared each other how long we could go without eating meat, and then they end up becoming vegetarians or vegans. So, you know, just those are the kind of things that you just get to be around.
So the Bangles, was that the good-looking one with the dark hair?
You know what?
I'm right here.
Wait a minute.
I'm over here.
That's unbelievable that you said that, because I thought that was her sister, and I thought the dark-haired girl was the drummer, and I actually had a thing for her.
The dark
and,
hair.
and I asked, and she goes,
By a lot of people.
She's right over there, but they were all worn out. They just finished a big tour. But I always got something for my daughter, so the puke bag was in there. So we pulled that out, and she had all of them sign it on the plane.
Oh my gosh.
To my daughter, the puke bag. So, and I think my daughter still has that. You know. So,
Great gift.
you know, those are the situations you're in, but, you know, it's a lot of fun.
Now,
Many
something
years.
changed for you too with American Greed. You wrote a song that I got to sing on, but it actually, you re-released it during the pandemic, and it was a song Together, and then it got a lot of airtime and a lot of play. So tell me a little bit about that.
Well, it got a lot of play, but we're in the age of it takes a lot of money to break anything. So, you know, we reached close to 1 million views. We did everything, got a lot of interest, but it just, you know, without all the money, it's just really hard to take it anywhere. So at some point in time, you move on. And so, you know, I was happy with everything we did. American Greed wrote some great songs. We had some fun playing.
Yeah.
And, but, you know, it's, that's the rock and roll world.
Tell us about your drums. I have to ask,
Oh.
because other people don't know. Gordon's used to seeing and playing that, but your drums are pretty spectacular.
Well, it's the only chopper drum set in the world. It's about 24 feet long. Oh, you got it up there.
Look
Oh.
at that.
Most people don't know about it until they see it. And once you see it, they're like, you could have never explained it.
Is that pretty incredible to put together?
Well, it's in a 28-foot trailer with 5 road cases. It just takes time. You know, it comes out in pieces and goes together. But what's cool, it was on headline front page magazines in Japan and other places, Brazil. So places around the world, they got a lot of attention.
It's so big that as a singer, you have to kind of watch it because you don't have, you don't have much room in front of the drum kit. You know, that's usually where singers are standing in front of the drum kit. So you're kind of, I remember one stage I actually had to kind of hurdle it to get to the other side of the stage.
Oh, yeah. Poor Gordon's got to go around the darn thing. You know, there's room here and there, but in front of it, it's not much room. So.
What was your first set of drums? Sorry, Gordon knows everything about you, but what age were you when you started playing?
Oh, I was right before junior high.
Okay.
I played in grade school band, but I didn't play drums until junior high, and I got a late start. So in junior high, I started playing, put a little band together, and then at tech school, played at the school thing. So I did sports and music. And my dad told me, he goes, you come up with half the money and we'll go buy a drum set.
Oh, that's awesome.
So we went, and he taught me about, making money.
It's really nice parents to want to let you play the drums.
Yeah, they regretted most of it, but they still come see me play.
Oh,
And they're
wonderful.
actually coming to Champaign this weekend for the big REO Legacy Show, which is going to be huge. I mean, this
Perfect segue. That's what we're going to talk about.
This
so tell us about it.
For me, I'm just a special guest playing drums. But what's great about it is for Steve Scarfina and Terry Luttrell to be able to reunite with Neil and the guys in the band, the original members. And they're going to dedicate in memoriam to Gary, and Kevin's supposed to do a video thing on it. And so it's really cool that they get to be a part of this. And that's what I'm really excited about is Mike Bowie and Will and Greg Shute and myself, we get to perform as, because we're all the Terry Luttrell REO Classics band. So we're performing the first 4 songs, which are like in the first album or 2. And then we're going to go off, and the other guys are going to come on, and they're going to play the rest of the show, and then we're all going to go back up for 157 Riverside Avenue. So it's so cool for me that Steve Scarfina finally, gets to go do a show with all them. He's part of that legacy. Terry gets to go do all of that. So I'm really happy for them guys. It's gonna be a fun weekend. They're calling it the final show, the final homecoming, where they're all coming to Champaign. And we're going Thursday. We're gonna all get together and do a pre-thing Friday, and the show's Saturday. But it's at the State Farm Center in Champaign, and I think there's about 10,000 people right now. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's
so
really
tell me
big.
a little bit, Mike, about how do you stay inspired? I mean, 40 years of music, can there be like burnout times? Can there be times that you go, what am I doing? I mean, how do you stay inspired doing what you do?
Well, I don't think you get uninspired, but after a long run with like Head East and everything, you get kind of burnt out. I mean, you're on the road a lot, you're doing a lot of shows. You start to where
Playing the same songs.
the enthusiasm runs, low, and then you leave the band or you're out of the band, and then within a year you're like, oh man, how I miss it so bad. Even though you're doing other things, I've always tried to constantly do projects, recording, like with American Greed, or like with this REO. I have it will come out, the Chuck Rocks Live from 1986, the tour I did with him. That will come out. I'm doing a special video to Johnny B. Good and the bio. I'm going to go to Florida, and we're going to put together a little video celebrating the 100th year of Chuck Berry. His birthday would have been 100 years old in 2026. So I'm going to release that album, and I'm going to release that video. And I've gotten so much slack about people thinking I'm trying to make a bunch of money off of this. I did it with my own money. I did it. It's all just to honor Chuck. I'm not trying to sell nothing. I'm not trying to do nothing. But I'm going to honor Chuck Berry for having me be his drummer for almost 20 years. Wow. And I've been Ingrid has been like my sister for 40-something years. So to be able to do all that, this is going to be my way.
Why can you not make money? Or even if you made money for someone else, or
tornado relief. If somebody makes money off of it, great. But I'm doing it to do it. I will always honor the family. I will always love Ingrid. So it's just since Chuck passed, there's a new part of the family that runs everything, and they're probably worried that people are trying to use his name and stuff like that. I'm not.
Sure.
I loved every moment of playing with Chuck. He was so great to me. And I'm going to honor him back.
Yeah.
Oh, that's very cool. You got to do quite a lot, but one thing that you did with this latest venture, and I think you may have done it before, but I know for sure this latest venture that you've done was get to go and record at Abbey Road Studios.
Yes. So my first time was to go master this Chuck Rocks Live album. I wanted it done perfect. And what better way to do it than go to Abbey Road Studios.
Wow.
And Chuck influenced the Beatles.
Well, and here's where a more cool story comes out of it. So when it's time to master a vinyl, if it needs to be mastered, I will have that done at Abbey Road Studios on the same machine that the Beatles did. Now, fast forward to the REO. We have a vinyl. It's the special edition red vinyl album, REO Classics Band Live. I did have Sean McGee master and cut our vinyl on that machine that the Beatles and all those other bands were cut on. I have pictures of the machine at Abbey Road Studios that they did all that. And Sean told me he spends more of his time now cutting vinyl for sales than anything, because vinyl's back. So we have the vinyl album out, we have the CDs out, and you can go to the REO Classics Band Facebook page and find out more about it.
I love that albums are becoming a thing again.
Yeah.
I hope CDs and cassettes don't ever come back.
No,
I'm over that.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, who's thinking
But I love albums.
We're going to create a media platform with music that just makes a big chunk and skips about 2 seconds of the song in the middle of it,
Right.
Next track.
Yeah.
It's like never understood that, but
So I have been lucky. I've done 4 projects now at Abbey Road Studios. I've been there twice,
Wow.
so I've gotten a pretty good connection with them out there, and it's really cool to have.
did you take your shoes off and walk across the street?
I did not take my shoes off, but I did walk across the street.
You just have
a few
to.
times.
A few times.
I have those pictures. Yes.
So cool. Well, it's a long process of being in a band. It's tiring nights, tiring days, and we're going to talk about something. But right now, I want to know, how do you keep this pace up? I mean, what is it that you're doing right now that's helping you keep this pace up?
So in the last 4 months, well, a couple months before that, I found out about Immunotech. But, I had the traumatic experience
Yes.
of a loss.
Yeah.
Still hard to talk about.
Yeah.
But I found...
Losing the love of your life is pretty difficult.
Yeah, we know.
Yeah. So Amy Lindell had posted, I had met her through Ed Callison, who I play in Freebird with. And this new company was coming to the United States, and it was Immunotech. And they had been a company around the world for 28 years. So I was looking to get involved in something because I was dead inside. I mean, literally, I call it a walking zombie.
Right.
And if it hadn't, family and friends like you and Kelly helped a lot through all of this. But I got this, and when it launched and I became a part of the company, I started taking it. And about a week later, where I couldn't talk to anybody, I couldn't talk like this. I was just a clam. And I just felt like I opened up. I don't know how else to explain it except for I just woke up and I started getting back out, and I just felt like I got my, not my full energy level, but
Sure.
I had the energy that I wanted to get back out. So I started going out and I
Was it
started
the happy
talking to
pill?
everybody. Well, that was their little
Is that the
first
sunshine
phrase.
pill?
It's the
Because I'm
sunshine
out of the
pill.
happy
Yeah.
pills.
But to be honest, that's not what I took.
Oh,
What I
okay.
took was the platinum. Oh, sorry. Oh, there we go. So I started
That's what I'm
it.
drinking.
I call it the wellness revolution.
Okay.
Well, that's what they call it.
Sure.
But I started taking the glutathione, and that is a powder that has cysteine, or patented cysteine in it, that causes your body to create more glutathione in it. You're not taking glutathione, you're not injecting it, you're not taking pills, but that causes your body to do it. And what it is it helps your immune system, it helps your energy level, it helps everything in your body work better. I mean, I haven't been hardly sick as pre
Knock on
taking
wood,
all
we
this.
had a-
I was
there.
getting sick all the time. And then I started taking it. I'm not getting sick. I feel healthy. Now, playing wise, I have a rebuilt shoulder, and so I had a hard time, took about a week to recover, without pain and everything. My endurance level at rehearsals, I would start wearing down. I'm getting older. After shows, instead of taking 3 or 4 days, I've noticed my recovery time, I have more stamina during playing, I have that energy, I'm not fading as fast as I was, my recovery time. I mean, I didn't drink for a year, but I'm starting to socially drink again, and I thought, well, after a couple drinks in the morning, I usually feel it's great for that. I don't feel bad in the morning. I mean, everything it does, I mean, I
Is
will
that the
take
silver
it.
packet or the blue packet?
Well, they have blue.
Firing minds want to know.
The blue is the main one, what they say everybody can take.
Okay.
And then, but it helps kids.
Okay.
The silver, which is the platinum, is more, they say is for everybody, but it has a few more things in it for women.
Okay.
And then they have the sport, which is the black package.
I don't
and
think we
that
tried
is
that.
more
Okay.
for like active men. Now,
Okay.
I've tried it the last month. To me, I didn't feel any different from the silver to that because maybe I don't work out as much and all that stuff. But the silver helped me so much. Now maybe it is helping me a little more, and I just don't know it. But I'm stuck on the silver, so I've been on it like this is my 4th month. I'm going to take it forever.
Yeah.
It just makes
all
me
looking for that fountain of youth or that something to make us feel better. Because I don't care when you hit that, even really 40, like we were talking about, your eyes start changing, things just start happening. There's nothing you can do about it, but you don't go blind. You get glasses or contacts,
Right.
or you do something. So it's like, why
Two
don't
or
we?
three different types of glasses.
But if there's something that can help you to feel better
They
and
say
keep
your
that youth.
skin, your immune system, your body, your energy, just everything. And the thing is their patented cysteine is supposed to help this absorb into every cell into your body. Now, there's all kinds of research on the link that I gave you. If they click on that, they can read all the studies by Harvard and all this stuff. They can read all that stuff. I love it.
Yeah.
I just
I
love
like
it.
there's
So-
the video of they're
Link is
going
playing
for
at
a
the top of the
shot,
page.
but
Yeah.
they're not going for a shot. They're doing an immunology shot.
Yeah, I mean,
a healthy shot. We're
would
drinking
say-
it down.
Right, and they call it the body shot. It's
body
just like
shot,
a
there
shot.
you go.
Just a little bit. You put the powder in there. Now, I also use what they call the reds and the greens. It's a little. It's a
Sounds
little.
like we're back in the 70s again.
Yeah,
Some
well,
reds, take a little bit of green.
I don't eat well. I'm a bad eater.
I like the greens.
And so I take the reds and greens in there with my platinum body shot. And then they also have the little energy shot that you can do. It's another little package that I bought a box of it, but I'll only do it on weekends or something. Or maybe, if I'm going to go be really active that day.
Yeah.
And I use them for those days. So I take mine every morning. And, I always told Amy and them, I'm not a person that goes out and sells stuff. That's just not me. But I will tell the story.
Yeah.
How it makes me feel
Sure.
and how I enjoy it. So, if anybody's looking for, to be part of the wellness revolution, just check it out and look at it yourself. And if it, I hope it helps you like it helps me.
We got to talk about this too, because I
But
think this is so interesting, because I thought I was like the only musician that never got a tattoo. But
we
Mike,
found out though.
Mike,
'cause
well, I knew it. I already
you
knew
did?
It, yeah.
I didn't.
But Mike is another one that's never gotten a tattoo. Being in these bands for all your life.
Well, and not just that, playing all these motorcycle rallies all over the country.
They're probably doing it there, right?
All the time. I played motorcycle rallies. I've been around motorcycle groups all over and never got it. So Tomash, my movie producer buddy out in LA, he's like, Mike, how come you don't have a tattoo? And I go, well, I never had time to do it. He goes, well, I'm doing a documentary. He did a documentary, A Tattoo Age. And I'm in the beginning of it talking about how I never got a tattoo because I never thought about it.
So
I
are you
was
going to get
always
one?
more focused on, playing drums, the dress part of it, the jewelry, the shades, that kind of stuff.
look.
I was like, wow, well, I never did think of a tattoo. I never got one, and I still haven't. And it isn't anything against tattoos. I just never
thought
did.
about it, yeah.
So there we are, buddy. You and I.
We're right. Did you see Daughtry? Have you seen Daughtry lately?
Oh, I've seen all of them. I meant,
They got
Johnny
like the-
Depp and all.
Oh, no, I mean his is like it's just black.
Solid black, right?
Oh,
Daughtry's got this black all the way up his sleeves, all the way up his chest, like Indian war paint is almost what it looks like.
Wow.
And it goes up his neck, and it's like I had to double take it. Now I thought it was paint.
Yeah.
Our buddy Matt Arena says it's not. He
Yeah.
says it's a full blown.
That would hurt.
Well, you know what? To each their own.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Whatever makes you happy these days. That's where I'm at. Whatever makes you happy, be happy. Have fun.
So before we leave and take it to a break, what advice would you give to the younger generation, to young musicians who want to get into the business and want to pursue a life of playing music?
Well, this is a whole different world, so make sure you got money coming in. Even myself, I went to a tech school. I took a trade so that I could work and play, And so, and even if you don't go into the music world and you want to play what makes you happy. If it's sitting at home playing your guitar, your drums, or on weekends or anything, I'm a firm believer in music makes the world go around. I believe that if we didn't have music, we'd be done.
Yeah.
That with all this stuff going on in the world, if there wasn't music and everybody out there playing music, we'd be lost. So
It does do something to the soul.
I'm
And I
telling you
love when
what.
if he starts playing the piano or plays the guitar, I can feel myself calm down. Now, granted, I wouldn't calm down to headbanging music or whatever,
Right.
but there is something really spectacular about music. And then when you have a gift of a voice to go with it, it's just like, it's incredible.
And also, you know, there are statements and political this, all that in music, but there is music itself is not one side or another or up or down or good or bad. It's music,
It's the
and if
genre
you
that you
just
like.
listen to it and you just enjoy it and you get fun and happiness out of it, then
Think how boring movies would be without music.
Oh my
soundtracks.
gosh. You can change a scene of
Tells
a
you right
woman
there
walking
how important it is in life.
with scary music or happy music. You know, if you hear dun 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 dun,
right.
you know a shark's
hello,
coming.
that's right.
If it's just swirly music, you know, oh, she's just swimming.
Yeah, but
Excuse me.
that's music is it for me. It's been part of my whole life, and anything I can do to do another project or record, you know, I'm on it.
You're going to do it.
I'm gonna do it.
And so your big project is coming up again in Champaign, right?
Yeah, that the band's been playing a lot more. We just played in Dayton, Ohio last weekend. We just got a new management company. Our new agency is on Wilshire Boulevard out in Hollywood, and
That's a fun place to go.
so, you know, I'm not going to go back to playing a whole lot, but we're going to, you know, play 1 or 2 weekends a month, head out and travel and
Do what you love.
do it. Yeah.
Well, you were listening to Mike Mesey, incredible drummer. Head East was one of my favorite.
Yeah.
We were talking about Flat as a Pancake just the other day. I wish
He goes,
I wish I
what was
had
the name of that Head East album
The
that had the
Pancake?
pancake on it?
Oh yeah.
I can be flat as a
Yeah, it
pancake.
kind of makes sense. But thank you for spending time
but
and
thank you
sharing your
both.
soul with us.
Yeah.
And Mike, we've got just a few seconds. If they want to find you, Facebook, or do you have a website?
Yeah, Michael Mesey, Mesey on Facebook. I don't post a lot of this stuff on there, but they can message me and I can.
Oh my gosh, you Google your name, there's stuff everywhere.
Yeah, I'll help any way I can.
Well, you're listening to the Lou Information Station on demand at louinfo.com. It's the In Your City show. Find us, subscribe, be a part of this and all that's going on in St. Louis. We're going to take it to a break, going to bring it to the 5 o'clock hour for the second part of our happy hour and meet Audra Harrold. And also we're going to be talking about the Ritz-Carlton. So we've got more fun ahead and cocktails that are melting.
Hey, love the Ritz.
We'll be right back with more. Who doesn't love a good happy hour? I love happy hour because also you get home earlier. I can't stay out as late as I used to. So get a little tired, get a few cocktails in. Always a better price at happy hour as well, so that works out. Speaking of happy,
what makes you happy, Kelly?
St. Louis Closet Company.
Yeah, tell me
Jennifer
about
Williams. She's awesome. Love that place. It's just such a great vibe when you go in there. Her building is absolutely gorgeous. I love the fact I keep talking about. I like that you can go in there and really walk around and visually get an idea of what you want for your home. But if you don't see what you want, she'll create it for you. And what you just saw there on the screen, if you're watching us at luinfo.com, you'll be able to see the visuals of some of the things that they do. And there was a big, huge tractor that was driving through the building. That's because they do everything on site at St. Louis Closet Company. It's not being brought in from China or somewhere and taking, months to get here. Everything's done there. And it's a family operation. I love that her son is coming up the chain and working with her, and her husband's there. And actually, you just need to go have a meeting with her and sit in her office. I love her office. She has the coolest office. Of course, everything's probably cool that she has because she has all this at her beck and call. Her office is as big as the, lower level of our house. It's really cool.
I don't think I've ever seen her office.
Seriously?
Yeah.
So I go to see her one day, and she's sprawled out on the floor because she's trying to make a decision on some photos, and they were all like spread out on the floor. And I'm like looking at this, and it's white, and yeah, it's totally chick cool. So, but yeah, you've got to go in there, check it out. If there's something you want to do, literally it transforms your life when you get things organized. It doesn't matter how small it is or how big it is. Jennifer can take care of it for you. She says go from chaos to calm with St. Louis Closet Company, which is so cool. And one of the things that they are known for is their floor-based systems that add strength and stability while giving you that seamless look. So that's one of their traits that you'll have. You need to speak when I'm talking. Help me with my sentence when my mouth doesn't work right. Yeah, and I'm not drinking either, so maybe I need to drink.
I just love the fact that you can go in there and actually visualize it, like you said.
Yeah.
Because of all the different displays. She's creating a new display right now with a new color. It's like when you first walk in, she's got that table, and then it's right to your left. But it's actually, there's a new color that's everybody's crazy
about. Like the Rage? She's making something with it? Yeah, that's cool. I didn't know that. She has events. Her toy drive is incredible that she does for Christmas. But support small, support local, and get organized the St. Louis way. And that's what Jennifer Williams at the St. Louis Closet Company. So we really appreciate that she's part of the show, part of our magazines. We just love her. She's part of my anthology that's coming out and telling her story. And, she's started a woman in business, and it wasn't like it just happened. I mean, it was a lot of work for her to take it to where it is. So she should be very proud. And we're glad to be a friend with her. And now we're going to introduce you to a fashion icon over here. Look at her, looking sassy as can be. Audra Harrold. She is the co-founder and executive director of the STL Fashion Alliance, where she leads efforts to support and elevate the St. Louis fashion industry. You just came back from Peru, which is really cool. I don't know if that had to do with the Fashion Alliance, but wow, jet setter as well. But we're going to find a little bit about you and what you're doing, and we're excited that you're actually part of our team as of today. So, I mean,
excited about that.
Yeah, so our magazines, of course, that we talk about, and that cover that's right next to you, Audra, that was our very first cover our first issue that went out is Starry Night, was July of 2017. So it's been a little bit and then moved into the other three. But you're going to be a huge asset, director of partnerships, and also our fashion lead, and adding editorial, a fashion segment to not only the magazine, but fashion here.
And show?
Some people maybe aren't into it, but I'm telling you, when you find the look for yourself, and everybody's different, and everyone has a style. Some need your help. Usually run into those when I'm shopping at Walmart, but we all have those days.
Walmart really count. I mean, everybody knows you're going to see something,
It's funny too because, we all have that style, and I love fashion. I love shoes, and I don't necessarily have to have something super expensive or luxurious, except for when it comes to purses and stuff. I love those, but as long as I love it and it fits well, I don't care. And sometimes I get embarrassed because I've bought some really inexpensive dresses online before that, like, you could probably buy lunch for it would cost more than what I bought some dresses, and then someone will go, oh my gosh, I love your dress or whatever. Where'd you get it? I'm like, I don't remember. I'm not sure. I've had it forever. But, so I really feel that fashion is, what makes you feel good. Mm-hmm. But sometimes people need a little bit of help with what might look good with them too. So so tell us a little, I'm going on and on and on, and I want to stop. So welcome to our team. We're so excited to have you and excited to have you a part of everything that we're doing. But tell us what the STL, the Fashion Alliance is, what that means, what it's about.
Yeah, so first of all, every time you said fashion, you probably take a helmet and put it on me and watch my brain light up. It's like, oh, fashion. I love fashion. And so STL Fashion Alliance, we're a nonprofit. We're a 501c3. We're fairly newer on the scene, but we support local fashion professionals and students. So that's both at the high school and the college level.
Both at that. And so tell us some of the things that, you're always seem to be at an event or doing something, with it. And when we had a conversation, I could feel the kind of the sadness that even kind of went over you when you said it's changing so much, the fashion industry, of what it once was.
I think
is that here or is that throughout the United States?
I think it's less sadness. It's shifting for sure. And I think one of the positive things about the shift is we are really starting to shop local. We're really supporting local, and no disrespect to your very inexpensive dress that you bought.
Once in a
we really need to shop local and really
not sure where's convinced
I just really learn where our clothes come from and who's making them, because that's really important too. And the whole idea of fast fashion is really we're in kind of this place where we need to educate the consumer, where I got this $3 shirt off certain websites, and you're like, well, but it's going to fall apart.
$3 shirt?
And okay, stop it.
The what?
There's a $3 shirt?
No. There is not. It does
New
not
show.
Exist. Well, where it ends up is going to end up in a landfill at some point, because you're going to wear it, you're going to either tire of it, or it's going to wear very quickly. It's not something like a Goodwill or someone would take to resell. So it's going to end up in a landfill. So I think that that's one thing, is really educating our consumers on where are your clothes coming from, how are they made, what are they made of. Mm-hmm. Your polyesters and synthetic fibers are going to take 300 to 500 years to decompose in a landfill, as far as we know. Who knows, it could be longer. And so that's something to think about, or your natural fibers, your cottons, wools, alpaca, where I was in Peru, those decompose in 3 to 5 years. So I think as we, educate ourselves and educate the consumer, these are things that we need to be thinking about. And I think the younger generation is really on board with this.
With the fashion world, and you were talking about that, Kelly, as far as why is it the fashion industry in New York is so different than the fashion industry in St. Louis? How long does it typically take the Midwest to catch up to what New York is?
I think that's a little bit of an antiquated thought, because I think that the Midwest, and because of the internet and everything is so fast. And I think if you're talking about us wearing it, I think that St. Louis you can only wear so many types of outfits in St. Louis that are, I would say, accepted on the street. I think you can be a little bit more out there, maybe in New York or something like that. So I don't think it's taking more time. I just think it's where you live and what is kind of accepted.
More conservative. More conservative.
Yeah.
But it is cool. It is different that what you can wear there. It's like I went there with my daughter. I've been there one time, and my daughter took me there for my birthday as a surprise, and it is the culture, everything's different, and so much more is accepted of what you're wearing. And you go out, you can really do it up. You go out here and it's like, Are you going to the east side later? Or?
What's happening over there?
What's going on?
Or just get off a plane from New York. Yeah. So.
Well, you were talking about, you just went out of town to Jeff City. Tell a little bit about that.
Sure. So something I'm really passionate about is educating the next generation and really providing them with as much information as they can. And so high school students are kind of a sweet spot for me. I have one that just graduated, so I'm living that too.
Yeah.
And so I was invited to be part of a committee that really looks at the different classes and the programming and is all different, like culinary and everything's included. It's for FACS, but I specifically was invited to participate in fashion to make sure that what they're doing and opportunities they're providing are meeting certain criteria. So something in fashion is that we have a little bit of work to do, which is what I learned yesterday, and that's something that the Alliance is committed to, is providing some of these opportunities and working with teachers and working with the state organizations to make sure that we get fashion in there and make sure the students are
So learning. Remember you just said it, the class that you'd have in junior high.
Home ec, back in our day.
Yes, but they call it FACS now.
FACS, Family and Consumer Sciences.
What's it called now?
Family and Consumer Sciences.
Makes short for FACS.
FACS, F-A-C-S. Yeah.
Well, it was home ec back then.
Yeah.
And the cooking class was so much fun because you'd make pizzas or something, ridiculously delicious that was so good because you were starving. Mine was at the end of the day. But I also had sewing class. Mm-hmm. Let's just say that I could never make it in the fashion industry. In fact, you couldn't even tell what I made. It was so bad. I am not Susie Homemaker whatsoever. But that doesn't mean there's not something else in the industry for me if you can't actually sew or put something together. On the other hand, your sister who made all her clothes.
Well, I remember going, she'd come home with these little packets, it had all the patterns in them, the paper packets, and it had the picture of what it's supposed to look like. Hers always turned out like they're supposed to, but I mean, it was.
Did you make any clothes did you do that?
No.
Oh, so it's okay.
Did. Yeah, absolutely. And that's another thing that the Alliance does, is really educate on all the different occupations in fashion. It's not just designers, it's not just sewing, there's so much. There's marketing, there's science, there's tech, there's technical design. There's just so many pieces, so many occupations that's one thing that I'm passionate about. It's like, look at all the things you could do and still be in fashion.
That's crazy too, because you think about it, it's like my dad was an architectural draftsman, so everything was drawn out. Mm-hmm. And it was the same thing. We watched that movie about Halston, and he's taking a pencil and drawing what his design would look like. But yet today, I'm sure there's all kinds of software and technology that just basically creates it. If you can imagine it, it can create it.
Yeah, and both. There's designers that still do, pencil and paper and draw it out and do beautiful illustrations. And there are some that just go straight to a computer. So I think we're kind of in that middle world a little bit, where you have some that still want to use, that touch feel, and then some that are like, I just want to be on the computer.
Do you cringe sometimes or find, because I feel like the youth, like our younger generation, when we were growing up and we had to dress a certain way at our first jobs, we talked about if you fly on a plane, you got dressed up. If you go to church, you wore your best. There was just certain etiquette and style. And sometimes we're at church and all I'm doing is looking at the people around me like, did they just get out of bed and come to church? And then the lady in front of me, I'm like, she didn't even brush her hair. I just want to fix that, that spot you get when you sleep. I'm just like, oh my gosh, and button your shirt. But yeah, and you go to the store and kids are in their slippers and sweatpants, and it's very different. It's like, how do you teach the new culture a fashion sense? How do we get back to that?
Yeah, I don't know, but airline travel is definitely, that's one of my pet peeves is, dress up, or at least put clothes on that doesn't look like you're going to go take a nap. Yeah. And their pillow.
You want to be somewhat comfortable because you are sitting in that seat if you have a long flight, but you can still look nice and presentable, and especially take a shower since you have to sit next to someone for a long time.
Thank you very much. It was my return trip from Peru.
Oh shoot!
Yeah, it was a long 7 hours.
Oh, no deodorant or shower the person
I don't
next
think
to you?
he bathed in a month. So.
Oh, that was a fun ride home.
He was a very nice young man, but he'd been on some month-long, and he had just a carry-on backpack. So
that's when you send him back to the little blue toilet back there and let him do some work.
Yeah.
So fashion seems to cycle sometimes,
yeah,
as far as trends, and how often does that happen? I remember playing in bands. We had a guy that played guitar, and this was the 80s, and he's still dressed like the 60s. And he always said, don't worry about it, it'll come back.
Yeah.
He goes, I want to buy clothes. So how often does that cycle?
I think it just depends.
For some, never.
Yeah, for some, like my dad. Yeah. No, I think it just depends. But I also think when you see the styles come back, they're a little bit different. Like right now you might see, a bell bottom, but it's not the 70s bell bottom.
Or the 80s mom pants
love
are
bell
back,
bottom.
high-waisted jeans.
Yeah.
Only certain people can wear those.
Yeah. So I think it just depends. And then again, going back to what Kelly said, it's your own style, like what you gravitate to. And like this piece I'm wearing here, this is a local designer. His name's Michael Drummond. He's been around for a long time, but I could put this on today. I could probably put it on in 30 years, and it's a classic look.
Yeah.
And so I think it just depends on your style too.
That's the key. Buy something that's
timeless.
Timeless, yeah.
Yeah, you have to have those. You have to have. There's certain pieces that you need in your closet, for those timeless pieces or things that really can rotate around. I mean, you can make, jeans and have the perfect jacket and top and turn around and put it with a skirt or a dress underneath it and completely change, the look. And I still do. I just haven't really had any time to watch TV like that. But the makeovers where you can, it's incredible. You can take a, 60, 70-year-old woman or even a 40. Some people get stuck in what they wear and they just can't get out of that. And you just put a fresh look and, update the hair, so that it's when you can.
Yeah.
But I always say, thank goodness that Gordon lost hair. Otherwise, he might be walking around with long hair like from back in the '60s or whatever. But no, I think that it's amazing what you can do. Just change that whole look in just 15 minutes if you can get a hold of buddy. And my daughter's always wanting to get a hold of somebody and change their look around and give them an updated look. She literally, Gordon says she's going to get sued one time because she changes their look so much, doing acrobats in here, change their look so much that the guy's going to sue them when she finally takes off her makeup and her hair.
Right, the same
sorry,
person.
guys.
Who is that
person?
We had a little technicality again. Love computers
and we just roll with it.
And look at the cords in here.
Yeah.
You can't see them if you're in here, but they're everywhere in here. It's amazing what it takes to make the show happen. And we have a little bit of they made podcast studio rather than there's a couple actual radio studios that are in here that have been part of the station for a long time. But we wanted the comfortable.
I'll say, going back to the, changing the looks and like going in your closet and finding something new. We have stylists that can come in and do a complete closet audit.
Oh, wow.
And then you can have, St. Louis Closet Company come out and put it all back together for you and have it all organized. But yeah, if you're like, well, I don't know what to do with my clothes, it's amazing what they can do. I had a stylist come out, and for my son's birthday one year, I'm like, he didn't really know what to wear. He's a young man, trying to figure it out. And so he went through his closet and pulled stuff out. I was like, nope, yep. And then I said, here's your budget. He met him at Nordstrom Rack and pulled all this stuff. And my son tried things on, and they spent the budget, and now he knows when he's going to dinner with me or going somewhere, because I have an expectation of dress, that he can go to his closet, pull something out, and shoes, belt, everything, and it looks put together.
Oh, that's fantastic. This chick over here, he's when we go places, he'll literally Pinterest or look at what the look should be, and even he cracks me up. He'll put on shorts and his
shoes. They were killing me.
And his hoodie.
I was like a woman. It's like, these shoes got to go.
But he'll wear matching tennis shoes with the hoodie, and we laugh all the time at what I look like when I'm at home, because I am not a fashion statement.
You ever seen that short video on YouTube on Facebook where the wife gets home, and as soon as she's in the door,
and the husband's closing the door,
in her sweats and
he turned around to shut the door, and he turned around and she's already in her comfortable clothes. That is, I literally walk to the closet like this. It's like I cannot wait to get out of work clothes. I love being comfortable. And it usually doesn't match. So I just want you to know that he comes out like a Garanimal. I call him the Garanimals all the time. Because when you have little Garanimal tags in there, so you know what to put on that matches, that's Gordon. And he always wants to ask me what I'm wearing. And I'm like, I never know. And then he'll go upstairs and get dressed. And then I get dressed and we walk out and we have the same colors on. It's kind of
Yeah, it's like you are very color coordinated today.
It's great. We all.
Well, this was a little on purpose
time.
today.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe today, yeah. But most of the time, though, it happens though all the
great.
time.
We had the studio STL this morning, so it was kind of like it there and all day affair. Yeah.
That's
Those
every
shoes
day.
were killing me though. It's like, oh.
That's so funny. I took my shoes off too. I wore.
I wore comfy shoes today.
Well, before we take it to a break, is there something that I mean, we had so many questions to ask you, but we've
upcoming
been
events, things like that.
Yeah.
And you were talking about that today, and how these events. I'm sure that's what you were talking about when you had your meetings, and how we can do some things different for our events and things like that. But tell us about some of the upcoming events that you have that we can look for.
in a minute.
Now?
Yes, of course.
One that's really exciting, this has to do with the students, is on October 3rd, we're doing the first ever St. Louis Fashion Alliance High School Fashion Summit.
Ooh.
And this is for high school students, their parents and guardians, faculty, staff, anyone at the high school level, to come and learn about the different occupations in fashion and the pathways to success. So it'll be an all-day event, October 3rd, 2025, at the Ritz-Carlton. So more information will be coming out about that.
We'll need to put that in the events page and get some information in the magazine to let everybody know about that as well. And then we can talk about it again when we get a little bit closer.
Yeah, we're really excited to really share with these young people. And it's really pulling from the entire Midwest. So it'll be good for our city, too, to have the exposure.
I can really tell the passion
I
that
know.
it's
I
the
can't
youth.
do it. Every time we talk about it, it was like today we're
Yeah.
talking about it. She's lighting up. You know.
Yeah.
Which is wonderful because, I mean, that is the next generation coming up. And it's kind of like when they have special days at the ballpark for the kids. Or I love when we go to Kansas City and not the Dodgers station, but Kansas City Royals. Won't get into that story. But for an hour at least, I kept calling the Kansas City Royals the Dodgers. But, that's me in sports. So, but you go there and they have all these things set up for kids.
Yeah.
I mean, I wish they had that at our stadium. They need to do that because when the kids go there, that's memories, and it gets them sucked into to the baseball and to the game and to love it and be part of it. And I think that you doing that, you're going into the schools and you're doing things that excites the kids and gets them involved in fashion, that it isn't about finding that $3 shirt, but if you can find a really nice one for that. But I do love my pieces that I've gotten from artists and designers. Yeah. They are very memorable, and then you love when you put them on because there's a kind of a story behind it, having that art piece.
So good.
They do, and they last.
And if it doesn't fit, you can ask them to alter it, and I'm sure they kindly would do it for you. So.
Well, Audra Harrold, thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming in tonight. Also, we love what you're doing with the STL Fashion Alliance. I really am learning about it from you. So there's people out there that don't know, because I love fashion and I did not know. So I'm anxious to be involved and be able to come to some of the events and then the fashion that you're going to also bring our way for the readers that we have, which our magazine goes to over 45,000 homes plus the digital version that's national. So we love that you'll be able to add that. So you are listening to the Lou Information Station live on demand at louinfo.com. Look up louinfo.com. Please subscribe to it. And of course, we're always on the radio dial at 590 KLIS, the new Lou Information Station. We have a text line that you can keep it handy, 314-590-3770. We've got a darling Ava Woodall who is in the background helping us out here with the show, and hopefully we'll have her in here so that everyone can meet her too. She's adorable. And then of course Logan Janis, we appreciate his production. Casey Pierce, our assistant, she does so much for us as well. Dave Green, we'll have to have him in here,
yes,
the owner of the station, and let you meet him on the show. If you haven't met him, of course, doing the other shows, we'll have to get him in here and start talking too. So we appreciate it. We'll be right back. We're going to be speaking to Michael Cooper from the Ritz-Carlton and find out all the great things that are going on over there as well. So we'll be right back with more fun right here on the In Your City show. Oh my God, live music's killing me. All right, we got a little happy hour break before we get to our guest, Michael Cooper, coming from the Ritz. But we thought we'd have a little fun before we take it a break it again. I mean, they're having happy hour.
Take it a break it again?
Take it a break it again, like a take it home in a sack from Steak and Shake. The Pasta House gets the groove on, don't they? About right now at happy hour, and I'm like, the music's coming in. We feel like
is that every night, or is that?
It is, I believe, Tuesdays and Wednesdays.
It feels like every night when we're in here.
It does feel like every night, but someone told me the other day one of the musicians is Nikki Glazer's dad.
Yes. And in fact, we're trying to get him on the show.
Well, you can, because he's right outside the window.
We are literally going to go have a conversation with him then. So we thought it would be fun. We had a few minutes before Michael arrived, so I wanted to introduce, of course, Ava. This is her first day on the job, trying to learn everything.
She did it.
She do good?
She did it.
I made it through the day.
Yes, and so she's going to be meeting the guests and helping with the online stuff and pressing buttons and answering comments and kind of helping us there. And I guess Dave Green, who is one of the owners of the station, you've taught her well then?
I just listened, really. They teach us these days. They know more than we do. We can't get into something and they can. It's unbelievable.
What we're lucky is that the station and happy hour time, we don't have too many young men going around, or they wouldn't be doing their job, would they? Where's Ava? Let me help her. I need to sit right next to her and help her press buttons.
I did notice that the younger gentlemen around here took a little more interest in the program today, but I thought it was me.
I'm like,
It is you.
it was, wasn't it? So tell us something. So you're excited? This worked out good today?
I'm very excited. This is
Okay.
a great job for me to have. I'm a marketing major at Missouri State, so I think this is perfect for me right now.
I love it. And Dave, how's everything going besides, have you had any sleep?
A little bit. We started to get some a couple days ago. It's calmed down
Literally only the
just a
second
little
week.
bit. Yes, but it's, there's so much that happens, and when you're in this business, as Gordon and I have found out many times, sometimes it works perfectly, and then you hit it to go on the air, and everything changes. So
like playing golf.
We appreciate everyone bearing with us. There's a lot coming. Our app's in development. You'll be able to push with one button on your phone. Obviously, we're adding more to the website. So we're having fun doing it, and I think it's a great group of people. So we're really excited.
Yeah, I've been seeing, every day I'm seeing the luinfo.com changing. I'm like, I just got it. Oh, it's changed again. I got to go figure this out again. And that's what old people do. The tech is like, well, not you. You're very tech savvy. Thank goodness.
Yeah.
Well, not today. You're killing me, Smalls.
I'm sitting here. I had to get up in emergency, and I'm like trying to change camera angles so they can't see me. And then, so I put this camera on her so she could be talking, they didn't see me, and then I walked right past it. And then I realized that because all of a sudden I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, okay, why is it doing this? It's plugged in. All of a sudden my little module that controls the whole show said, battery low. 7%.
Oh no.
Yeah, and here you can't have a face for radio because you got it on the screen. It's so much easier when it's just radio.
And of course, 7% is either 20 seconds from now or an hour from now. You don't know which one.
Like my gas tank.
You never know.
I coasted
will
in.
say 5% and then
dead.
And then it's gone. That was like the gas tank today. I literally had 14 miles when I was leaving, and then all of a sudden I was on, there was nothing. It was just lines, and someone pushed me in. I don't know what happened, but I did make it. I'm lucky.
that's when you know, see, it's right up there. I'm just going to speed up so I can coast.
And that's when you lose it, though, because mine don't just stop. So back to you, Dave. So tell us some of the shows. We're like in this little box right here doing our thing, and I listened a little bit to Cam Jansen this morning. Joe Patrico, did I say that correct?
Tony
Patrico. Is his dad Joe?
I don't know. Oh, it might be. Yes, his dad was a guest.
Papa or Poppy or whatever he calls him on the radio with them.
Right.
So I've been kind of catching some of them, but I actually were so, busy. I haven't had a chance to really look.
to take it in.
To take it in and see what's all there.
We're focused on this show.
That's
Oh, gosh,
it.
and it's
That's
taken
it.
a lot.
You
I
guys
mean-
have your own wing of the building. The other people aren't even allowed to come over here.
We don't even know who's here.
Vic Faust kicks us off 6
That's
to 8.
right.
You
I did
mentioned
listen to that.
Cam Jansen and Jimmy the Cat Hayes are on from 8 to 10. And then 10 to 11 and 3 to 4, we have all these 1-hour shows that are all different. Business, Mizzou sports, food, leadership, all we even and now have a show 1 to 3 that I'm really excited about. You could be a guest on it. It's Next Gen STL from 1 to 3, where we're putting on only people from Gen Y or millennials and Gen Z to get
put me
their
on, put me on.
opinion, right? Because we never really get that. And then as you
Yeah.
mentioned, the Tony
Guys will be
Patricos.
speechless.
Yes.
It's going to be the show with no talk.
That's it.
It was
That's
like,
it.
why is no one talking to me?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Blah, blah, blah.
But it's, and Earl Austin Jr. is back on the air doing high school sports. We're trying to have a lot of just really good St. Louis people. And as I was telling your new expert, our new
Hey,
favorite
valuable.
marketing star, you guys are very well connected St. Louisans. I've seen it just from the people who are walking in. It's important for young people to make those connections, a huge opportunity. But it is also for us here at the station to all work together. We're all in business and we're all, trying to advance. So hopefully once we can get everybody in the same room and everybody meets one another, we'll see how it all
that'd be
connects.
great. All right, well, we are going to take it to the break because our guest is going to be in here at 5:44, so we can actually meet Michael Cooper from the Ritz-Carlton. Thanks for all your hard work. I know how exhausted we are on just one show and trying to get it and then everything else we do. So putting a whole station together can be quite incredible amount of work, I'm sure. But we're seeing it.
Sorry, I owe you
progress.
some alcohol. I took some.
Oh, well, we'd like you to have more. No.
No, but before we sign off, we do have to say something while he's in the room.
Right.
Have you not noticed anything in this room, Kelly? What is the
There's so many
She-
things in
she
this
doesn't
room.
notice. She
hasn't noticed. Have you noticed that
busy.
this just magically gets refilled
I
each
had
day?
to fill it.
But had you noticed the last few days that every day
didn't
you
refill
came in,
it.
it was
I
filled?
did just refill it with a
You
bag
did
of chocolates.
today. You did today, but I've been refilling
been
it.
You
instead.
have? Oh, that's hilarious.
Because my staff has gone to town
You
on it.
must eat it quick. You must eat it quicker than I know because I refill it. Didn't even know that it was been refilled before. And actually, I'm going to put it out there so that everyone can get it. So I'm going to have to get another job just to afford the chocolates.
Don't do that.
Joe Roderick, every time he passes the room, it's
2 chocolates.
That's so great. All right. Well, we're going to take it to a break right here at the Lou Information Station at louinfo.com. Coming back with the Ritz-Carlton. City show is back with the In Your City segment. How perfect is that? We've got Michael Cooper from the Ritz-Carlton, but first I just got to let you know about Otto Orthodontics. I can't leave the show without talking about Dr. Otto. She's incredible. You can get yourself a consultation, which is free, whether it's Invisalign, braces, whitening, or even a little Botox touch-up. We all love that. She's got you covered, faster, more comfortable, and personalized treatment. They're Missouri's #1 Invisalign provider. They have, oh my gosh, Creve Coeur, De Pere, Fenton, St. Peters, and Wentzville. And they just keep opening up more locations to make it easier and stress-free for us to get to. The greatest thing is if you mention the In Your City show, or tell them that you heard their commercial right here at the 590 Info station, $1,000 off. That's pretty good.
That's a lot.
Yeah, I say that every day. That's an amazing deal. So she's won many awards, and you can feel confident with your smile. Dr. Otto, check them out at ottoortho.com. That's ottoortho.com. You will not be sorry, and you'll love Gina. She's amazing. So here we are. Michael Cooper, thank you. I'm so glad that you're here with us. And who doesn't love the Ritz-Carlton? Our friend Pete Ferretti just posting pictures from his beautiful wedding that he had for his daughter there.
Love it.
We've done a couple stories in our magazines when you opened your new restaurant. Your cigar bar is fabulous.
Yes.
And now you're even doing more. We're at, what, 35-year anniversary?
35 years. Unbelievable. We
Brilliant.
opened our door in March of 1990.
Gosh,
Yeah.
the 90s.
Isn't that crazy?
Where did they go?
I can't believe it's been that long.
Yeah, 35 years. You blink and it's here. No, I can't take credit for all 35 years. I've only been at the property for a year and a half.
Okay, welcome.
But in a year and a half, have wrapped my whole head around an immersion of all things Ritz-Carlton St. Louis. Unbelievable. Talk about a staple in the community. Talk about a, for lack of better terms, a crown jewel. Obviously, I'm going to put it on a pedestal because that's what I'm here to do.
You are.
But no, really could not be more excited about what we've got going on in our 35th anniversary year. From top to bottom. This isn't just something that transpired this year. This has been a process over the course of the last couple of years, kind of culminating into this 35 years of experiences here.
We were there recently, went with some friends.
Seems like every time we go in, it's something new.
Yeah, we went with Brian and
No
Debbie.
joke.
We had went over and had some drinks after
Yeah.
being down, in Clayton, and we walked in, and I'm like, it hasn't been that long since we were here because we went for your birthday.
Right.
And we walk in, we're like, wow, you transformed the area where you'd like to
Brightened
have
it
the
up.
bar.
Yes.
Yeah, really enjoyed that.
So that for sure was one of our culminating experiences in this process as well. I'm going to call it a reimagination, for lack of better terms. But no, so last year, multi-million-dollar enhancement of the lobby lounge for sure. Trying to keep true to, I'm going to call it the golden age of St. Louis, and paying homage to a number of the 1904 World Fair experiences, keeping that eclectic feel, while I'm going to call it a modern luxury is the idea. You guys kind of referenced it. It's a little bit of the lighter lights. It's kind of bringing that together while still keeping the Ritz-Carlton brand at its core and what it offers. So the lobby completely transformed itself. The whole, I'm gonna go on a tangent and tell you it wasn't just the lobby.
yours.
You referenced the cigar club. You've referenced the restaurant. You could probably do this for me because you've been there and you've done enough with it. But over the course of the last few years, I'm going to keep it on the main floor of the hotel itself. But you've got the cigar club, Casa Don Alfonso, our restaurant. Working your way to the lobby.
The logo that they put on my cappuccino was
I
amazing.
love it. I love it. There you have it.
Keep
It's the
going.
little indelible
I
touches
love
that they
it.
do. I trust me. I get it.
It's the experience.
It truly
That's
is.
what Ritz-Carlton is.
That is. That's what luxury is about. It's you can have the neatest hotel, neatest property, but if the service, the experiences, and it's not creating the emotions that it needs to be, then you're missing the mark. But no. So anyway, working your way to the lobby, and then ultimately, what's happening here, kicking off in a few weeks, is our ballroom renovation. I say ballroom renovation. Really, I'm going to keep to that word. It's a reimagination of the property itself, and so I don't think you can walk around this city without meeting somebody, an aunt and uncle, a friend, a family who has not had an event or been at the ballroom at one point in time
many times.
in the last 35 years. And so this is just an opportunity for us to create an indelible mark on the community and enhance what is already one of the highlights of our social market is this ballroom. And so I'm really excited that this is kind of that culminating event where the best way to describe what's happening is I'm going to call it a facelift, for lack of better terms. But ultimately, it's your light features, it's your vinyls, it's your carpets, it's everything that's going on. We've really honed in on this experience of, I'm going to call it a Baroque arts inspiration. So your French neoclassicism with, I'm going to, again, go on a limb and call it your kind of a renaissance of architecture and art. And so while staying true to kind of the romance, the opulence that the Ritz-Carlton brand has with it, while modernizing as well. And so really can't wait to see what the end product is. Can't wait for the community to see what that end product looks like. But as this transitions and we finish, it's about a 6-week project. So at the end of the summer, we'll be done and wrapped up.
Wow,
but
that's pretty quick.
It is quick. It is really quick, which needs to be. I mean, at the end of the day, when the Ritz-Carlton does something, they do it right. They're going to do it right, and they're going to master the process as well. But what this will do is this will bring everything together. It will be a continuation of that lobby lounge that we talk about, bringing that together. It will be a continuation of Casa Alfonso, the Cigar Club, the Solarium, which is on our second floor, one of our amazing event spaces. Bringing this all together, I think this is a perfect timing. You could not have timed it better to commemorate 35 years of the property.
But even the details of how you make a bed.
Yes.
We know how you make your beds.
Yeah.
We have Ritz-Carlton pillows. We're a little creepy. We love everything about the Ritz.
That's not creepy.
Comfortable bed ever. And yeah, we went to an event for City Lifestyle for our magazine.
Yeah.
And we actually...
That was the one in Chicago. We've also been to the one in California and stayed there, which was quite
awesome.
incredible
Yeah.
too. But we all
did
had
a competition.
who could make the Ritz-Carlton bed. We failed
I was
miserably.
going to say who won.
I know.
No, Andy's team won.
Yeah.
Of course.
But we still all failed. None of us got it
no,
right.
I get
But
it.
it's incredible the process that you put into just even making the bed for the guests that come there.
Everything.
Yeah.
Everything, attention to detail is top of line, and when it comes to attention to detail, it's truly in all of it. Even so, going back to the ballroom, to put this into perspective and bring this in, so the chandeliers are going to be a mouth-blown Venetian chandelier straight out of Murano, Italy, out of Venice, and so importing that directly. So it truly is, even the little touches of the chandelier, as intricate and detailed as they are, it is everything matters in part of this whole process. And so, yeah.
And everything's a little bit different. Even your gym is gorgeous.
Yeah.
The workout facility.
Yeah.
Remember how beautiful that was?
Yeah.
And
the one in
very
California?
modernized.
Yeah.
No, we saw the one here.
Oh, here. One
Yeah.
here,
And toured the upstairs, which I don't know if you still have that, where the
We do.
greenery in that. It's
Yes.
kind of a smaller area room.
The solarium.
Yes. Beautiful. But tell us about, and I hope I say it correctly, Achi? Meaning
Achi,
arch. Can you
yeah.
tell us about what's going on with that?
Yeah, I would love to tell you about that. So achi, essentially, it's a Japanese word meaning arch. And really it's achi and omakase experience, kind of as a whole together. And so I am no culinarian by any means, but I'm going to do my best to articulate this. So an omakase experience is a Japanese experience, particularly focused around the sushi, where it is a 10-course tasting experience.
Wow.
Oh, we're in.
And the idea behind this is it's very intimate. It is not just you're going to get 20, 30 people here to have this. It is very much secluded to 6 individuals. And so we are doing it. So in our lobby, you have our bar, but you also have our sushi bar. That is a staple of the Ritz-Carlton. So if you haven't experienced it, you need to go do that. So with that, so the omakase experience, so 6 individuals at a seating. We offer 2 seatings essentially, so Friday and Saturday. So on the 19th and 20th of June coming up, we'll have this experience again at 6 p.m. and then at 8 p.m. 6 people max. And so we're this intimate thing. It's not so much the sushi and the experience, which is wonderful, don't get me wrong. It is about the interaction and the storytelling between the chef and those who are there to experience the sushi at its whole. And so this particular omakase experience, so the achi, the arch, why we're doing it, it plays homage to the gateway to the West. This is the gateway to your culinary experiences within the Ritz-Carlton as well. Kind of a fun play on words on there. But ultimately, what's transpiring with this particular omakase experience is it's our Okinawa edition. Really honing in on your vibrant fruits. It's your mangoes, it's your pineapples, all the best that they have to offer in Japan. And so we are open for reservations. So just head to our open tables. Ritz-Carlton St. Louis open table, and you'll find
You'd have to book up pretty
you will have
quickly,
to do
wouldn't it?
It does. It's amazing. It
Oh my
absolutely is.
gosh, to be able to be part of that, it would be so disappointing every time I try to get in. Because it's going to fill up fast. So only 2 seatings then.
2 seatings per night, 6 o'clock and 8 p.m. And in addition, again, only 6 people per seating.
Are you already booked up?
We are getting there, so you want to book soon.
I would think so. I mean, because that's, once you find
Yeah.
out about that, and who doesn't love sushi, and then to have that experience as well.
No, for sure.
My gosh, there's been such a transformation, I guess, has it been starting maybe, I feel like, has it been the last 3 to 5 years that things are
You're
just
exactly right.
developing?
You're exactly right. And I've alluded to it all, but I mean, it started in the Cigar Club. They revamped the Cigar Club experiences, and go on a limb and say we're one of only less than a handful of Marriott portfolio hotels that actually have a cigar club on property. Wow. So really an exclusive experience. But Cigar Club was revamped. We talked about Casa Don Alfonso. That is going to be your Italian Mediterranean cuisine. It is wonderful.
Yes, it is.
It is as authentic as it gets from an Italian experience. You've got the open kitchen concept where you can see them making the pasta there for you. Your pizzas are there. Even the attention again to detail, they bring it in. There's glass listeria leaves as part of the decor, and what that essentially is bringing it in is the hillsides of Sorrento, which is essentially where this idea comes from. It's full of listeria trees, and so it's these leaves, and so the idea is you walk in and you are fully immersed in the Sorrento Italian experience as well. But no, so the restaurant, the bar, all of it's happening, culminating 35 years, and we're summing it all together with what we're calling it our Eternal Emerald Escape.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Okay, so this is a $35,000 experience at the Ritz-Carlton. And part of this, you've got an opportunity to stay at the Ritz-Carlton suite, essentially is our presidential suite. So it comes with it. You get to stay there. You get a personalized personal chef experience for dinner for 6 with you and just an intimate 5 additional individuals where you have that experience with the one-on-one with the chef. In addition to that experience, it's your spa experiences that come with it. And then to top it all off, a hot air balloon over the city of St. Louis as well.
Really?
So just bringing it all together, and truthfully, it's for more than anything, it's just to get the news out there. This is 35 years. We're here. We're still here. We're not going anywhere. Absolutely love what the hotel's been doing, and couldn't be more excited to be part of it and living it as we speak right now.
This Emerald Escape, how many of those are available?
Well, we would love to have as many as possible. If you
got
guys can call
35,000.
bring it all for sure.
Well, I love everything that you've brought to the show today.
Thank you.
The Ritz-Carlton, there's nothing like it. And it doesn't matter where you go anywhere around the world, Ritz-Carlton is it. And we're so lucky to have one right here in Clayton, Missouri. So check it out for yourself, the Ritz-Carlton. You will not be disappointed. I can't imagine that you've missed walking through the doors. We got to go. In Your City show. Thank you for joining us, and cheers.